Hi, and welcome to Something to Talk About. I'm Linda McNamee. And before we begin, I would like to invite you to call in tonight. Tonight's topic is women-owned businesses. If you would like to give us a call, please feel free to call 781-270-9199. Or at any point, either tonight or if you're thinking about it next week, please feel free to email me with your comments or suggestions by emailing me at talk@bcattv.org. Before I begin, again, I would like to thank my crew here. Not staff, I don't get a staff. I'd like to thank my crew, Corey McNeil and Tad Stefanak and Mike Duvall. They are all staff members here, and also Jen Dodge. Jen designed the set and also came up with the introduction, and I love the bubbles. And I would also like to thank JT Marchand and Colleen Moore, who are my volunteers, who helped me pull the show together. Without them, we would not be here. And I would also like to thank my husband, Paul, who's staying home tonight for Daddy Date Night with Gwyneth and Evan. So good night, Gwyneth. Good night, Evan. Hope you guys had a good daddy date night. And also, I would like to say goodnight to Gwyneth's friend, Olivia, who allowed me to have her mom on my show tonight. So good night, Olivia. Hope you're having fun home with Daddy tonight, and Mommy will be home real soon. So tonight, as I mentioned, we are discussing women-owned businesses, and I have two guests tonight. We have Louise Comerford, who is owner and artistic director at Miss Louise's School of Dance, celebrating 1 year in Burlington. Yay!
Very exciting.
And Kristin Brady, who is another friend of mine, playgroup that we met.
Years ago.
Daughters are friends, and you have a couple of businesses. You are a Tupperware consultant and an online shopping consultant, correct?
Yes, exactly.
So, well, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So we're just going to kind of have a nice little informal conversation, and if anybody wants to call in and ask a question of you two, we will get notification that someone's on the line. So let's start out by, can you guys tell me a little bit about yourselves, where you grew up, how you came to Burlington, and about maybe, do you have a family now, and, basically education, how you got to where you are today. Who wants to go first?
Awesome.
Louise.
So my parents actually moved here from Dublin, Ireland. So I was born there, and we decided to move here. Well, my family decided to move here when I was just a baby. So they took the big leap over to the United States.
And you have no accent.
No, I lost my accent. I had it up until age 10, but it's gone now.
Wow.
So
Can you bring it back if you want to?
I could, but it takes a little bit of practice. So so my family all still lives in Ireland. I grew up in Billerica, so at the age of 3, I lived in Billerica, and I've been living there ever since. I attended Billerica Memorial High School. I continued my education at Bridgewater State, and
So you're now a local girl.
I am. I do not live in Burlington. I live in Billerica, but it's still very close for me, nice and convenient. So.
But you opened your business in Burlington.
I did.
Which is very important.
Yes, I did. I love Burlington.
Yay! And Kristin, how about you?
So I've actually was born and raised in Burlington. I've been a lifelong resident, actually third generation resident of Burlington. I have family that are still in Burlington. My grandparents have lived here over 60 years.
Wow.
So we have a lot of family around town, which is great. My grandmother, Patricia Litchfield, she's probably watching tonight. Hi, Grammy. And I just love Burlington. I think it's great to be here now, raising 2 children here. I went to Burlington High School, graduated the class of 1996, played a lot of sports.
Oh, now I feel old.
Did a lot of sports and activities, did soccer, softball, and basketball. And I went on to continue my education at the University of New Hampshire up in Durham. And after that, I went to the corporate world for a little bit, and then I decided to get my master's. I got my MBA at Bentley, right down the street in Waltham. So yeah, I've just been in Burlington, for a long time, and really like the town. Can't get out of Burlington, it seems like. A lot of people are coming back to Burlington that have left, and a lot of families are starting. It's a great family town. And
I'm kind of noticing that about where I grew up out in Western Mass. It's like a lot of people are either coming back there or they never left. And I go home and visit. It's like nothing has changed.
Right. I don't blame anyone for coming back to Burlington because it is very friendly and there's a lot of kids and everyone has something fun to do here.
Yeah,
so.
it's very convenient too. I feel like there's the mall, there's so many different things. It's the convenient factor.
Kind of why we chose to come here. But we digress. Hey, both of you are business owners, but they're very, very different. So can you tell me a little bit about your business or businesses in general?
Sure.
Why don't you talk about one, and then we'll give Louise a turn, and then you can talk about your other one.
Yeah, sounds good. So the first business I started probably about 8 months ago was a Tupperware business. So I know Tupperware has been around forever. I'm sure everyone's heard of Tupperware. It's like the #2 recognized brand in, the world.
Do you know what the number one
everyone,
is?
What's that?
Do you know what the number one is?
Kleenex, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So people associate Tupperware with everything that they're putting their, food in and stuff.
Anything plastic is Tupperware.
Yes, exactly. That's what people think. So Tupperware is just such a great company. It's been around 65 years, and they're the ones that actually invented the home party and, going into people's homes and having a party and sharing products. It's kind of coming back around again. A lot of stay-at-home moms and people that want something to do are doing that, where I go in and I do demonstrations of products. So I'll, do a recipe, I'll do a demonstration and show a lot of the different products.
The fruit salsa that you made at our house was really
it's yummy.
good.
You can make a seltzer. And what I loved about it at the time, I wasn't looking to do anything, and I got invited to a Tupperware party, and I was like, wow, these products are great for busy moms with kids, and they solve so many solutions. Tupperware, their mission, they focus on the home. A lot of their products are for the home. They benefit, and they focus on health, organization. So everybody needs a little bit more organization in life, in your cabinets, just in general in your life.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Definitely. They also try to save you money by some of their products, and you can earn money as a consultant like myself, just for a lot of extra things or for an income.
And free products.
And free products. Oh, nice. Yes, lots of free products. So, and they also, the last thing is they focus on the environment. So they're trying to get less things in the landfill and have a lot of reusable products. So yeah, I was just fortunate enough to get invited to a party, and at that point, I was looking for something to do. I think everyone needs a little something of their own, even if they're a mom, because I came from corporate America, and I just like to be busy and just challenging
mental
your mind.
Stimulation.
Exactly, and I just wanted to get out of the house and just feel like I had something of my own, whether it be a hobby or this business. So that's kind of how I started. But it's a great company. It's a quality company. It's been growing, even in this economic struggle that we've been having. They're growing quarter over quarter. So it says a lot about the products in the company.
Right.
And my mom is like a huge fan
I know,
of the
she's
Lifetime
one of my
Guarantee.
biggest customers, Linda.
Really?
The woman's got like 50-year-old Tupperware,
Wow.
and it's
still going.
It is.
It's and even if it's not, she's like, can you bring this to your friend and have her get me a new one?
Yeah, well, they last
Like,
for
50 years.
50 years.
You can't beat that.
No, it's a durable product.
Exactly. And Louise.
Yeah, so I opened my dance studio last March, so it's approaching its 1-year anniversary, which I'm excited about.
It's awesome.
So my studio focuses on dance and fitness classes. I try to offer something for everyone. So I do offer all styles of dance. I'll give you some examples. I offer Irish step dancing, as you know.
As I know.
There's also ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop, lyrical, all that
Now,
fun
did
stuff.
you study all of these different
I actually
styles
did.
of
I
dance?
have my favorites, of course, but I actually have tried all styles of dance, and I just love them all. So I try to incorporate everything in my studio so that everyone can find something that they really enjoy.
So I'm going to digress already. I will get back to your second.
No, don't
Now,
worry.
did you start taking dancing like when you were a little kid, or
I
like
did.
high school, or?
I started dancing when I was 4. It's a kind of a funny story. I saw an Irish dance performance. We were at the Canton Irish Cultural Center, and they were putting on a show. And this was before Irish dancing was really, it wasn't very popular yet because Riverdance hadn't come out yet or anything like that. So it was still very low key. Not many people had heard of it or seen it. So I saw it and I was like, oh, I really want to do that. And I guess I was begging my parents about it, but I was only 3, and the studio where I was going to take the class only allowed you to be 4. So I had to wait a little bit, but on my 4th birthday, I started. So I was very eager to start learning it. And then from there, that was always my favorite style of dance. And then I continued on to learn all different styles. So it's been a big passion of mine.
Yeah, it's a great style.
I love it.
Wow.
So, and then the fitness aspect is also, I teach Zumba classes as well as ballet bar classes and, stretching classes, things like that, with upbeat music, just so everyone, can be comfortable in a fun environment. I like to make it really welcoming for people so that, they walk in the door, they can have a smile on
bright
throughout
yellow
the
walls.
class.
It's
There
very
are
cheery.
the walls
it's a
are very
nice
bright.
Studio.
At first, I was like, I think this color may be a little too bright, but it's grown on me. So,
Just for my own personal interest, what's ballet bar? Because I actually took ballet lessons from when
Yes,
I
I
was
remember you
3.
saying that.
Actually, I think I was still 2 when I started.
Wow.
Up until I was like 15, and I
Yeah.
haven't done it since.
Yep.
And I probably can't. But what's ballet bar?
So ballet bar is pretty much all the fitness aspects of ballet. So it's an hour-long class, and what the women do, it sounds brutal, but it goes by really fast, and it's really, really fun. Everyone always leaves, and they're like, that went by pretty fast. I'm not going to lie, you are a little bit sore for a few days, but it's a good kind of sore.
Yeah, it's similar to the Pure Bar that just
Yeah,
opened in
it is
Burlington?
similar
Okay,
to
that's
that.
good to know that you have that there.
Yeah, so it is, what it is you do ballet bar exercises, so leg lifts, things like that. You're holding the bar and you do repetition, so there's a lot of repetitive movements.
Some of us would need the bar to
Yes.
hold on to.
To get the body of a dancer.
And then there's mat work, so you move onto the mats and you do things like that. And like I said, the upbeat music really keeps everyone energetic and in a happy mood, so they're still ready to dance and things like that. So it's
Staring at the full-length mirrors, it gives you some incentive
Yes.
too, going, I really need to lose 20
Yes.
pounds.
And there's no clocks in the studio room, and I do that on purpose so that people aren't checking out the clock the whole time.
I
So-
never
Good
noticed
idea.
that.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. And now, did you have anything? I don't
Nope.
want to. Okay. I go on so many tangents that it's like, did we finish that?
Yeah.
A lot to talk about.
And you have a second business that is
do.
more consulting.
It's actually an online shopping portal
Okay.
that anyone can shop through, and this is a new and up and coming business. Online shopping is kind of the way of the future, especially busy moms and people that don't have a lot of time to go out and do their shopping. It's just a way to kind of do some smart shopping, save some money, and while you shop online, you earn cash back. So the site's called shop.com. And you can visit my site and check it out. There's over 3,500 retailers there.
Wow.
Wow.
So you can do any shopping that you would say, Macy's, Home Depot, Nordstrom's. It goes down to so many sites.
Wow.
Groupon's even on there.
Really?
So people are buying from those sites anyways.
Right.
So this is just like an entryway where you can go through and they're going to bank all this cash back for you. And you earn money as you shop. So I got interested in this at another Tupperware party of mine. Of course, my ears are always open. I like to be busy.
Yep.
It's kind of a fault, I guess. But I heard about it and I was like, wow, I want to hear more. And they have this amazing line of vitamins, and I was looking for a new vitamin regimen. We're all trying to be health conscious these days, and they're actually powdered vitamins that you can just put into some water and you drink them. So I was like very interested in that. I'm like, let me hear more. So the more I heard about it, it's just a cutting edge company. They're leading the trends and they're following the trends and trying to see people are looking into anti-aging products now, nutrition, health and wellness, and people are want to buying them online. So as a consultant, I'm a shop consultant, it's kind of, I share it with my friends and family or people in town, and it's something that I was doing already, just talking to people and, going out at play groups and sharing the word and kind of spreading the word. I'm
At Tupperware parties.
at Tupperware parties, yeah. Well, I don't do that, but at just in general, I'm just always, thinking of another way to save money and just kind of be a smart shopper. So I decided to look into this business as well, and I feel like it balances out well with Tupperware because, like we said, Tupperware lasts you 50 years, and it's a great product. But there's a lot of customers, and I just love servicing a lot of the customers that I met, and they need other needs. So I feel like in business, you're solving problems for people, and you're looking to see what else can you help them out with. And this was just another way to kind of balance out, shopping online. It's more consumable products, so in terms of business, they align with one another.
Because while you were talking, I was thinking, how is it to have two businesses? Does it get
it's a little
overwhelming? Does it get,
crazy.
is there a conflict of interest there? But,
No, it's definitely
okay.
crazy at times, and it's busy, and I think that's one of my biggest obstacles is trying to manage the two right now, because the second one is a little bit newer for me. And I actually was introduced right before the holiday shopping season to this business. I said, well, I'm going to do a lot of shopping online. Anyways, it's kind of a no-brainer. Why don't I just go into this and see where it takes me? And it was a great, it's been great ever since.
Now, is there less time involved with shop.com because you don't have to plan the parties and physically
Yeah, that
go
was the other
places
aspect. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. That's the other aspect. So with Tupperwares, it's all about the party, in-home party, and you're going out at nights and doing that, which I love. And I love getting out of the house, having 2 young kids. My husband's home, and he's home right now.
Daddy day night.
Yes, he's home right now. I forgot to mention the family earlier. So I have a 4-year-old, Olivia, who I'd like to say goodnight to. Hopefully he's going to bed now, and an almost 2-year-old, Caleb. So at their ages now, it's great for me as a mom to be able to get out at night and have something of my own, doing the parties. But then I was looking for something during the day while they're napping, because I had a little bit of downtime.
I know.
I know. I'm lucky that I have one napper right now. So during that time, I can go online. So the shop.com business is more of an online model, and emailing and social media makes it so easy to be able to share your business, and just you're always talking to people, and they might have questions, and you might hear about someone with an illness, and you want them to check out your vitamins or some other supplement that will help a health need that they have. So I feel like they were balancing out each other, because one's out of the house doing the parties, and the other one is behind the computer,
vitamins, you could put them in the Tupperware.
Yeah,
exactly.
There
That's
you
a
go.
good idea.
And you can buy all the nice nutritious food, like the carrots and the produce, and put it in those wonderful.
It's all about like healthy living, I feel like.
Exactly.
Just kind of helping people, and
they complement each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Dovetail. Okay. How did you? I think we kind of touched on this anyway, but just in case you guys want to add anything, how did you get the idea for your own business? For example, why did you want to open your own studio instead of just working with someone else as as like an assistant teacher type thing?
Well, I did work at a few studios, so I always knew I wanted to be a dance teacher. Growing up just dancing all the time, and I really respected my dance teachers, and I always thought, I really want to be like them. So I always had it in the back of my mind, I really want to do this someday. So I did work at a few studios throughout college and after college, and I learned a lot. I really learned a lot from the studios I worked at, and I really enjoyed it. But I also wanted to take the next step and open my own, just because I think it's challenging, and I like a challenge, and like Kristin, I like to keep busy, and this definitely keeps me busy. So I don't know, I just really enjoy it. And it's funny, in my 5th grade yearbook I wrote I wanted to be a dancer, and
I think I wrote that in my 3rd grade yearbook.
Be a professional dancer and a teacher, so it's funny that it actually came true. So
yeah, dreams come true.
Yep.
Yeah, I know I have my prepared questions, but it just seems like a natural lead-in to you always wanted to dance, you love dancing, and you are the artistic director at your studio.
Yes.
But being the owner, there's the whole business aspect, like accounting and paying the rent and paying the electric bills, and making sure all the tuitions are paid and ordering the costumes. And do you find handling both jobs a challenge, or are you up for the challenge?
I would like to say I'm up for the challenge. That's what I like to think anyway. So far, so good. In the beginning, it was definitely, it's something I had to plan my time wisely. So I do teach for several hours every day, 6 days a week. So when I'm not teaching, I'm usually thinking about the business, and then I have the business aspect, which is something that was very new to me. Working at other dance studios, I didn't have to focus on the business part. I went in, taught my classes, and it was see you later.
It's a whole new ball game once
it
you
was
add the
definitely
business.
it was a whole new ball game. I'm still learning. I feel like I'm learning something new every day, and I really like that about it, because I hope to make it better and better each day. So it's a constant learning experience.
It's a learning opportunity.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did we answer that question? What kind of inspired you guys to start your own business? I think I asked that one. I need a little check mark over here.
I can talk about that a little bit more, I guess.
Okay.
In terms of inspiration for starting my own business, we talked about how I went to a party, but I feel like I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit, I guess, inside of me, you could say. Like ever since I was a little girl, I've always felt like I want to own my own business someday. And that comes from my family. So I'd say my family is the biggest inspiration. They're all small business owners themselves. So from my parents growing up, they own their own business, and aunts and uncles in town, and from the small a small construction company. There's real estate.
So when you were 16 years old, you didn't have to work at the mall. You could just work at the family business.
Work at the family business,
Right,
yeah. I
that's
did still work. I did still work at other jobs. They say it's good to go outside of your family and get some experience. That's why I went into like a bigger corporate world, which was a good experience. But I was surrounded by it. I saw a lot of hardworking entrepreneurs growing up, and I feel like it's definitely rubbed off on me. And so when I went to the corporate world, I was kind of like, oh, what's this? But I felt like I had to do that and try that out a little bit. And I definitely learned a lot there and took a lot of those learnings and said, I'd really like to do something. And now that I'm home, I feel like it's a perfect time to kind of go into that and just, kind of test that out a little bit.
Master's degree.
Yes, exactly.
Pay enough for it.
Yeah. So before I even went into the corporate world, I started, right when I graduated college, I started a consulting business for like marketing and computer software consulting to use my degree. But I realized as a recent grad, you need a little bit more behind you and a little bit of experience. So I was like, well, I need to go into that and get the experience before I kind of take off. But it's in my blood as an entrepreneur, Everyone,
genetically coded.
Everyone around me, from aunts and uncles, like I said, mentioned. And my uncle actually owns or co-owner of the Emerald Rose in Billerica.
Really?
So I was thinking of that because the Irish step dancing, I think of that when they come in on the St. Patty's Day. They have all the
That's not too far from my house. I love it there.
Oh, yeah. So it's
my parents and my in-laws, it's like their favorite restaurant practically.
Yeah, no, it's a great place.
Can we go to Emerald Rose? Yeah, sure. Come on over.
Yeah.
So why did you choose Burlington? I mean, as a location, because like you had said, you were born overseas, but you were raised in Billerica.
Right.
So what made you cross the line?
Yeah, I mean, it's really not too far.
It isn't.
Right. So like I said, I did grow up in Billerica. I decided to take my business to Burlington, mainly because Billerica has several dance studios. I think about 6 or 7, whereas Burlington has far less, which is definitely a lot better for a new business. I mean, there's a lot of well-established businesses in Burlington, and there's a lot of dance studios. There seems to be one every mile, so you really have to stand out. And
bunch of hair salons, I know that much.
Yes, there are a lot of them too, that's for sure. So my goal was just to really stand out and try to be different and offer different things. And I chose Burlington because I thought I would have a good opportunity there, and it is very convenient and close. And
yeah, we need more options for dance studios.
Right, and I was looking in Burlington, and that was my favorite place. I really like the area, so.
It is a really good location. And the fact, yes, you said it's very competitive with so many dance studios out there, but in my experience, it doesn't seem like a lot of them offer the Irish step dancing.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. That's what I was so excited about your studio, to see that.
Usually you have to go more into South Boston, that area, to offer Irish dancing.
I would not be going to South Boston.
Yeah, that would be a big hike, especially for Saturday mornings.
4-year-old's dance class.
Yeah. Yeah,
4-year-old that gets car sick on occasion. But
that would not be
no,
good.
I was telling you earlier that before we had kids, my husband said, I want my I want my kids to learn martial arts or karate or something, and we tried that and didn't work out so well. He also said, I am of Irish heritage. I want my daughter to learn Irish step dancing. I'm like,
yeah, we have that in our family too.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep. Definitely.
So I was like really excited when I saw the, Irish step dancing. Ooh, let's check this out.
Yeah, something different. It's definitely my heritage, and it was always one of my favorite styles of dance. So I definitely wanted to offer it, and I hope to spread on that enthusiasm to other people that are
maybe. Perform at the
maybe.
Emerald Rose. Here we go.
I know.
There we go.
We'll have our kids in the performance.
Yep. Sometimes people hear the music for the first time, and it's funny because the kids hear the Irish music and they're like, what is this?
Yeah, they don't
hear
hear
What is this sound coming out of the speakers right now? And the looks on their faces,
Yeah,
it is hysterical. They're like, what's going on? But, I mean, they learn to love it, and it's just a fun hobby.
Neat. Well, I know my household loves the Irish step dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Dancing around, my daughter. Okay, another tangent. My daughter loves running up and down the hallway.
Oh, somebody's on the line.
Actually, we have
is this the first
a
call?
phone call.
Oh, is this the first call ever?
First call ever.
Wow.
We have April on the line.
April.
April, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Hi, April.
Hello.
Did you just want to say hi?
How
or
you
do have
guys
a
doing
question?
today?
I'm sorry?
How you guys doing?
We're doing
We're
well.
great.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I have a question.
Go for it.
All right, Miss Louise,
Yes.
Nothing to be to put on the spot.
how did you pick your location in Burlington?
What'd you say?
How did you pick your
Location.
How did I pick
location?
the location?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Good question. I drove around aimlessly for quite a while. There was months and months where I was driving around, didn't know I would settle in Burlington. I was literally driving to all surrounding towns, just trying to find somewhere, that was affordable. A lot of commercial property can be really expensive and things like that. So I wanted something affordable, since especially it is a new business, and just a place that I felt I could make it a nice dance space. And it definitely needed some work, it worked out okay because my boyfriend, my brother, and my dad are all very handy, and they're able to do anything, so they were able to fix it up for me. And I was just really lucky that I found a spot that I was able to transform the way I wanted to. So.
Great. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yep,
You have another question? This is so exciting, our first caller.
I did, but I
Yay.
forgot it.
Well, okay, while you're thinking of your question, you said it took, you had to redo the space. How long did it take you to redo it? Because you said you opened in March, so
Yes.
when did you?
It took about a month and a half, but that was pretty much working every day for several hours, and sometimes even throughout the night.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work. I can't say that I'm the best at painting and all that sort of stuff. So a lot of the time, they were told, okay, keep away from this. This will be our job. But I definitely did the best I could. So it did take about a month and a half of everyday constant improvements. The walls were really, really dark, so it
Really
took a
get
lot
your
of
sleeves,
coats
roll
of
your
paint.
sleeves up and really get in there.
Right, so took a little bit.
April, do you have another question? Were you able to think of it?
No, sorry.
No, that's okay. You can always call back.
We'll be here.
Thanks for calling in.
All
Though.
right.
It was nice to
Have
hear
a
a
good
friendly
night.
voice.
Bye, April. Thanks for calling.
Okay. Yeah, I can just imagine, how many coats of
Yes, it was a
paint that
lot.
would cover, and moving those big mirrors in, and
Every day with the paint, I was like, oh, it's starting to look yellow. I was very excited. Once
Starting
I,
to?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
nice
it
and
took a
bright.
while.
Even on this rainy day like we had today,
Yep.
I'm sure it was nice and bright in there.
Yeah, that's why I chose the yellow, just so it's energetic, and even on the gloomiest of days, people can wake up and be excited to
Yeah.
move.
and the script of Miss Louise is over the
Yes,
mirrors.
yep.
Now, is that freehand or?
It isn't. It's a decal. Thank goodness.
Wow.
Yes. So.
That's impressive. Because
Yep.
it's so big.
It is.
Okay. Kristin, the next question's for you. I feel like I'm on a game show or something.
Yes.
Now, running your business is a challenge in itself.
Oh, yeah.
Being a mom is a challenge and a full-time job in itself. How do you balance the two?
Well, I guess that definitely is a challenge. I can't say that I'm definitely balancing everything. I think that is a struggle. I think that's the hardest aspect of, I call it a mompreneur, I guess we are. Moms that are home kind of trying to do something on the side and stay busy. I think time management is the key.
Okay.
And I can't say that I'm the best at that. Getting better, I'm looking to improve, but
It's a work in progress.
yeah, really just trying to have everything organized, on having lists and what you need to get done that day, each day, and being able to kind of go with the flow. The other day I was trying to get something done and my son woke up from his nap, who usually takes
Early.
either 2 hours, and I can hopefully maybe 3 hours so I can get some stuff done. But he woke up after 15 minutes where I had this whole list of stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
bet.
okay, plan B. And it can be frustrating and definitely challenging at times, but you just have to go with it and say, I'll get this done later tonight. I just stay very organized. I think organization is key. Like if I have, I'm going out of the house for an event for Tupperware, I make sure everything's organized, so I don't have to be stressed out and trying to get prepared with the kids.
Leave the
and
Tupperware in the car.
yeah, keep it organized and, just kind of get everything, have your lists and keep going kind of off of that. But it definitely is a struggle, I think. you know, kind of balancing your work and life. But I also like the opportunity to be home with my kids, and I'm able to do that now, where I don't
Choose
feel
your own hours.
yeah, I'm
almost.
flexible, and I feel like I'm not pressured to go right back into another full-time job, that I'm able to be free and drive my daughter to and from preschool and be able to do fun activities like dance class, and I think that it has the benefits of that. So just got to stay organized.
Yeah.
And you also have your built-in staff at home, because I know
Yes,
it's like anytime I try
well, I was
doing
gonna
something,
say,
you know,
yeah.
the 4-year-old, Mommy, I'll help, and then you get the
You
2-year-old,
do.
Mommy, I
Well,
help.
it's so funny because my daughter's really, I feel like, you know, trying to be a role model for her, just as a woman entrepreneur and someone in business. So she sees what I'm doing, as well my son does. You know, he's a little young right now. But my daughter, we have a product called Forget-Me-Nots. I think you might know the product. But she runs around and she's saying her Tupperware lingo. She's like, Mama, don't forget your Forget-Me-Nots. She gives me little pointers. So it is fun, you know,
It is,
to kind of have that help at home.
Great. Now, I think you had mentioned something in answering April's question about, you know, affordable place.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that either of you or both of you face? Because, you know, you watch the news, the economy's been tanking for years, and
Right.
starting your own business is a risk. It is a challenge.
Right.
And what kind of challenges have you ladies faced in starting your own business within the past year?
Well, when I first opened my business last March, it was kind of an odd time to open a dance studio, mainly because children that are taking dance are usually enrolled at that time. So the struggle that I noticed was just trying to get students in the door at that time, and also with the economy, you know, people were starting to hold back on extracurricular activities, you know, pay the bills versus go to dance class. Of course, you have to
Food
focus
or
on
dance.
Yes, exactly. So you have to focus on the important things. And I did notice cutbacks, but after about 5 or 6 months of being open, I did notice a change. Business improved, so that was definitely good. And then the dance season started, so it all worked out. So.
Now, how are some of the ways that I know it's not a question, but how are some of the ways that you've been promoting your business to get you noticed in this competitive
That's a
world?
good question.
Right. I do try to attend community events. So in the summer, I attended Burlington Town Day.
That's right, we saw you there.
Yes, I saw everyone. It was really, really hot, and all the kids, I was like
Oh, it was so
pouring
hot.
water on them, like, oh, take some water, poor things. But that was actually really successful, just because it gave me the opportunity to, you know, set up my table and talk to people walking by. I was able to answer questions for people, and, you know, I'm a new face in town, so it can be a little scary for people to start something new. So I just wanted them to know that I am welcoming and friendly, and this will be a nice place to take your children or take classes as an adult. So I just found that was really helpful. I think Kristin mentioned earlier, social media is extremely helpful. You know, Burlington Patch, Facebook, things like that. Just that is extremely helpful. Exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
It is very
Getting the
helpful.
word out.
And it's an easy way to spread the word and advertise and things like that. So those are some of the ways.
Now, you don't have bricks and mortar business.
Yeah, so I think that is definitely a challenge, and I commend you for opening something, because it's a big capital investment and it's a much larger risk. A lot of the businesses that I entered, it's a minimal to low investment to get started. So to kind of spin it on a more positive role, when the economy is down like this, people are looking for some more things to do. How can they bring a little extra money in? And that's how I was approached with it. Who wouldn't like an extra $500, $1,000 a month?
Right.
You know, doing something a little extra out of the house, you know, a couple Tupperware parties a month, or with my online business, that is something that you build over 2 to 3 years, and you work at 8 to 10 hours a week. So anyone that's working full-time, part-time, they can do this whenever in their spare time. And over time, you can build up to a 6-figure income if you're really working it and doing the work.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what they like to hear that, because there's opportunities out there. So I think in this downturn of an economic time right now, their ears are open. So it's a benefit for my businesses, because in order for my businesses to grow, I want more people to join me and kind of grow the teams. So I love being able to share the business models and try to help people in this time of need, where people want to get a little bit more money, and kind of help them out.
And also the other side of the coin to some of your businesses too, like as Louise said, cutbacks. You know,
Yeah.
you have to prioritize
Well,
where
that's
your
true.
spending goes.
Yep. So I think that's
something like
that's
Tupperware.
affecting.
You know, it's like, okay, here's ways of saving money
Yep.
and shopping. Well, you're doing the online shopping anyway.
Right.
Here's a way that can
Those
benefit
are
you.
excellent points, Linda.
So it also works your client base as well as your
Right. It's
business
all about
partners or whatever you would
It's all
call
about just
them.
saving money and shopping wisely and smart. You're going to buy something that you're going to use for 50 years versus
Yeah.
throwing out and disposing and spending money. And same with shopping online, you earn cash back. And yeah, there's different ways that you can make incomes. And with the shopping online and the shop.com business, it's a residual income. So once you build it, it continues to come in. You continue to receive checks. So I think it's smart right now for people to have many different income streams, you
Right.
know, not just to have all your eggs in one basket.
Okay.
So even if I was to go on to, go back to the corporate world, I would still continue this because it would be a residual income
Right.
that could help out. Say if something were to happen with my job or
Yeah.
my husband's job, God forbid.
Or the vacation fund, just
Exactly, exactly.
to pay for the dancing lesson.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to be able to have that, and just feeling the sense of security, I think, is good because
Right.
it's definitely difficult out there.
Yeah, I know when after I had my daughter, or before I had my daughter, I was working corporate America full time.
It's tough to lose that.
They made me an offer. They said, if when you come back from maternity, we don't want to lose you as an employee, so you could pick your hours and you
Which
can
is
pick,
great.
how many hours you want and what do you want to do. So I'm like, in today's economy,
I know.
I really don't want to lose this opportunity. So
Yeah, no, I think it's
I tried.
great.
It lasted 3 weeks, but
Well, I think it's great that corporations are offering more flexible hours and work from home, even though we heard today that the Yahoo CEO decided to nix the whole telecommuting thing. So she decided, she was the woman that just had a baby and went back after 2 weeks for maternity leave, which
Wow.
I
Oh my
just think is
goodness.
amazing. I mean, I think that's really hard to do in general. She's high up, but I think just hearing that news today, I feel like it's almost taking a few steps backwards because, moms like to stay, like you said, you'd like to keep your foot in with your company and raise your kids and be there for your kids, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you need to make it work. You need some flexibility.
Right.
And that's what I love about the 2 opportunities that I'm doing now. They're flexible and I can do it kind of on my own schedule.
excellent.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool. Okay. Are you guys now? We just finished talking about opening up a business in today's economy. Do you still see that now that you're up and running? Are you still constantly facing these challenges? Or do you think now that you're a little more established, some of those obstacles have kind of gone out of the way? Like now that you kind of
Right.
have your face known in Burlington and you have a client base, do you see that as still an ongoing challenge, or have you moved past that?
I think the obstacles have definitely subsided. Just being open for almost a year now, it's just that it's been helpful. The first 6 months, it was definitely, I felt like it was very risky, and going into it, I was a little nervous. I was hesitant
Yeah.
about some things, and it was a big risk, but I'm glad that I did it. I have no regrets. I love every minute of it, but I do notice that it has gotten a lot better now that I'm a little more established. So.
Now, last summer you did do a summer school dance class. Are you
Yes.
still planning on doing summer, or are you going to give yourself a break?
I will still be open in the summer. I'll be offering several dance camps and workshops and things like that, as well as fitness classes, and just to keep the kids busy so they can have something fun. Not weekly classes, but camps and fun things like that.
Which is great, yeah, because we're going to start looking for all that stuff now for our kids.
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
I know. It's always.
So that kind of brings me to, my next question, but I'll give Kristin the opportunity to answer that. Do you still see some of the same obstacles, or have you worked out a lot of the bugs, so it is just this residual thing that you keep building on what you've already created?
Yeah, I think it's definitely building on what I've already kind of created. And like I said, it's an opportunity out there. So, there could be viewers tonight that are watching and saying, how could I make a little extra money? Because if I was never introduced to this idea, even when I was introduced to it, I was still skeptical. I was like, no, I can't do this. I'm like, Tupperware, it's a little bit out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Go in front of people
Right.
and do that. But I think just by doing that, it's, gotten me out to be more confident and do more things that I didn't expect I would be doing. So I feel like, people are out there looking for things still. So I think that's a benefit for the business, that people are always, everyone's like, what are you doing? How are you making that extra money? You mean you're having fun? You're going out and hanging out and drinking wine with ladies and partying and having snacks?
Making margaritas?
And you get paid for it?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So it is good that people are looking, I guess. It's kind of a benefit.
Just along those lines you're talking about, what if somebody is watching and they want to get involved? How would they
Well, that's a great question.
get started?
So I have two different businesses, and they basically, obviously contact me. My contact, I think the information's going to be up there, and we can definitely talk more about it. But it's so easy to get started. That's what I did love about the business. I wasn't opening a studio, which I commend you for that. I was, it's something that I was like, okay, I still had to, I was a little nervous about it. Should I do this? But when I made the decision, it was so easy to get started. In the Tupperware business, right now you can start your business as low as $30. And there's no commitment, no strings attached. You can do whatever, you want to do a couple parties. So I went into it saying, okay, how bad? I'll try a couple parties. And then before you know it, I was like, wow, I'm making money and I'm having fun. So I was
Got
doing
my original investment back.
and you get so many free products and so many perks. So I was just, excited about that. So anyone that, loves to kind of get out and see people and, make a little extra money, Tupperware could be for them. It's very fun. On the other aspect, the shopping, shop.com business in Market America, I feel like it's more for a business-minded person. It's for someone that, likes to get out and talk to people and likes to spread the word about products. It's kind of like if you went to a really good movie the other night and you just, called up a friend, hey, you have to see this movie. Yeah. That's what it's like. You try a product, you really need to try this product. They have, a really good antioxidant product. And I'm sharing it with people that need, products like that. So for someone that wants to get started with that, it's similar to Tupperware, very low capital, startup cost. And you're off and running. There's amazing support teams and trainings. It's all free training, and you can kind of go into that. And what I love is you're around so many positive people. I think it's great. You should really surround yourself with positive people. I'm sure you have so many positive people that got you through the opening of your dance studio, and they help you out, and you kind of all just feed off of each other and give each other the energy and the confidence to have your own business.
I agree with that. I think family support from friends and family, it's just so important because
you can't do it alone.
Exactly. I go to my family and friends with advice all the time. I'll ask them, what do you think of this idea? Just before I advertise it to the world, just see what other people think about it. And
what do you think of this orange costume?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Please don't dress my daughter in orange ever.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. Don't worry, Linda. I'm not that cruel.
I just have this aversion to the color orange. I'm sorry. So now you already led into my next question about mentoring. Do you have a specific mentor or someone beyond family? Like, do you still go back to your old dance teacher or one of the studios that you used to teach at to give you advice? Or, do you just rely on family and friends? I don't have a mentor, but I definitely go back every so often to the studio where I used to work at and rent them, close to where I went to college in Bridgewater. So I go back to her and I'll ask her questions. She's been so helpful. It's a learning experience for her, and I've learned a lot from her, and we actually exchange ideas a lot, so it works well for both of us. I think that's been really helpful. And then my poor friends and family, I'm probably always annoying them. So I'm like, what do you think about this costume? And what do you think of these shoes? And color ID. Oh, it's Louise again. Yeah. I'm not going to answer this one. Yeah.
No, they like that you ask them. That you trust their opinion.
Right. Coming from a person that loves dance, if I'm talking to someone, that doesn't really care about it that much, they may not be so excited to hear my conversation, but I try to keep it down a notch, not drive them too crazy. Now, is the teacher in Bridgewater or rent them? Is she coming to the recital? She might be. March? We'll see. Her recital time will be right around then as well. So she may be busy, but we'll see. Hopefully she can make it. Because you have your recital in March, which is just the Irish step dancing. Yeah. Which I'm kind of I am looking forward to it on many levels, but I'm also thinking, she's got enough Irish step dancing students to put on a recital? Yeah, it's definitely a small, low-key recital. It's how many weeks away? About 3 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away. So there's only 20, 23, 24 Irish step dancers performing, which is enough for us to put on a fun little show. It'll be at UCC, the church in Burlington, across from Simons Park. So I'm looking forward to that, and I can't wait to see the dancers show off their talent. So.
On St. Patrick's Day.
On St. Patrick's Day,
Yeah,
yeah.
because they put in a lot of work because they started back in September, right?
Exactly, yep.
So
So
I'm
I
sure
can't
they
wait
have-
to see it.
It's going to be a great performance.
I hope so, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. Part of me is just, I just remember my own dance experience where you see all the, the 8 to 10 kids lined up on stage,
Oh, yeah.
and then there's
So
the little
cute.
one on the end that just sits there and
Doesn't do
Yeah,
anything.
there's always one,
or
right?
cries or something.
Yep.
That wasn't you, Linda. I can't imagine.
I think it may have been.
Oh.
At least the first year. I was only 3. I still remember my
that's-
first
yeah.
costume, though. I think I remember like my first 3
I do
or 4
too.
costumes. So that,
Funny.
I digress again. Mentoring. What does it mean to you, and how have you had a mentor?
Mentoring, I think, is a really important aspect of owning your own business. And within each business, I have 2 great mentors. In Tupperware, I have Joan, who's just so energetic. When I met her, she shakes her maracas, and she's dancing, and she gets you going, she keeps you going, and she makes you do things that you didn't think you could do. So I think it's really important to have a mentor. And within my other business, Marika Merver, who's actually a Burlington resident as well, she's been
great.
doing Shop.com and Market America for almost over 10 years now.
Wow.
So they both have different styles, and I like that I learned something from each of them, and they're just tremendously successful women, and they've been great. And of course, like, the family support is amazing. You know,
Yeah.
my parents and my families all have owned their own business, so I can kind of bounce ideas off them, you
Right.
know.
The husband who
shoot an
stays home
email.
with the kid
Yeah,
when
And
you're
my
out,
husband, of course, I can't go without mentioning my husband, Bob, who's amazing, for going out at all the nights and all the evenings I do, and now for kind of taking on another business. I don't know if he thought I was going to slow down with one, or they're both very busy. So, they help out with everything. So it's
Now,
great.
recently you went to Florida for
I did.
work.
Yeah, Miami. So I got to have a little fun.
Now, was this with Shop.com or
Yeah,
Tupperware? Okay.
Shop.com, they have an annual conference it's a world conference in Miami, and there's only 25,000 people
Wow.
from all over the
Holy.
world, like Taiwan,
goodness.
and we're expanding globally now.
Wow.
So that's so exciting, because within the business, you can have somebody with social media. I can have customers in Russia, over in
Wow.
Czechoslovakia, anywhere. I mean, you can gain customers just through online mediums. And it's amazing where this is kind of going right now.
And next year's conference will be in Australia.
Oh yeah, I'll
Wouldn't
go.
that be
I'll
nice?
Take,
Yeah.
I'll take a trip, definitely. I'm always up for traveling.
So you were able to get together with other people and kind of
Yeah, it was great. I got to
brainstorm
meet a
and-
lot of other people, and they had it within the big arena down there. So they had, it was just so exhilarating, the energy there and the amount of learning that you take away. They launched a few new products. There's some celebrities that are involved, so they're there endorsing their products. So it's just fun to kind of be in that atmosphere. Yeah, they have it every year in Miami. So, and then my husband was able to come down, so we made like a little relaxation
Oh, great. That's
weekend out of
nice.
it. So
At the
yeah,
beach,
it was
at
fun.
some of the clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami's a fun city.
Now, you're both incredibly busy based on what we've been talking about. Do you ever have time for a vacation? Other than,
Funny, yeah.
at a conference,
I know, sneaking in the husband on the weekend, a little fun.
Do you ever have time to relax, either, take a vacation or just, you said you work 6 days a week,
I do,
and
yeah.
that
it's
one day
busy.
you're probably, doing everything else you
Yeah.
need to do, like
Right. I have to
housework
be
and
honest, it
grocery
is very busy, and when I'm not teaching or when I'm not at the studio, I am always constantly thinking about things that I have to do,
Yeah,
but I
little
think
ideas.
it's right. But I think it's really important to sit down, turn your phone off, stay away from your computer, and just
Yeah.
relax, and make sure you're still communicating with the people you love. You don't want to shut people out of your life. So I try my best to have my time with my friends and family, and not get too wrapped up into. I love my job, but I don't want it to be my life. I love my job, but I also want to have time for my friends and family
Yeah.
as well. So
Because it's got to
extremely
be hard
important.
being a business owner, being able to turn off that switch at, the proverbial 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
or the
Right.
It's so
hypothetical 5
difficult.
o'clock.
And I feel like with social media and the smartphones, it's just making it more accessible.
Exactly.
And you have to kind of do that, where you just turn off the phone and say,
Right.
I'm done, and I'm not going
Right.
to connect anymore.
Yep.
But it is hard to do that. But speaking of vacations, we are planning a Disney trip with the family.
oh, great.
So we're going to be going away in the next week or so. So it's been extremely
great.
busy this week trying to lead up to that. But I feel like with the 2 businesses I have, I don't have like a brick and mortar company. I don't have a lot of overhead. My husband and his family also own a small business, or not really small. It's actually a mid-sized business. And they, he's having trouble getting away because he's got a staff and they're servicing big clients where they have to be on call 24/7. So just trying to get him away to disconnect. I feel like I'm lucky in that regard with my two businesses. I can plan, when I want to be working and when I want to do the shutdown and go on that Disney vacation. And,
Yep.
around the holidays.
Going to Disney World.
Around the holidays, I was, not wanting to get out of the house to do too many Tupperware parties. So I can kind of open my schedule and calendars and say, okay, this is when I'm available and, kind of be flexible with it,
Yep.
which is good. So I just need to get my husband to be able to do that.
Right. This summer I'll have time for vacations. Woohoo!
I think you're going to Disney World.
I know. Summer,
Yeah.
it's a good time to take vacations.
It
too.
is.
Go back
Yep.
and visit your family in Ireland.
There we go. Yeah, actually, my whole family is going the week before the recital. I think they planned that on purpose.
Oh,
So I'm not
no.
asking them 1,000 questions, but they'll be back just
Yeah,
in
but then
time
you
for the
can't go
show.
with them.
I know. I think it was planned.
Uh-oh.
It's a conspiracy.
It is.
This is kind of an obvious question, but how do you expand? How do you plan on expanding your businesses, assuming that you want to expand and have them grow?
Right. Of course, I really do want to expand. It is a very new business, and I want to continue to grow. I mainly just would really like to be involved with the Burlington community and, produce really talented dancers so they can showcase their talents. I would like people to look at our studio and say, wow, they put on a great show, or they all seem so happy and, not stressed out. I just want it to be a really relaxing atmosphere, and I want everyone just to be happy. And I just want to expand my business by letting people know what our studio is like and bringing it to their attention and things like that. And also, I did study elementary education and early childhood education in college, so I worked at a preschool, so I also use that to my advantage to spread the word, and I do put on little events and things like that for the place I used to work, so it works out.
And you can have a birthday party there.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
that's good to know.
After seeing my 2-year-old at my 4-year-old's lesson the
Oh,
other
yep.
day, it's like, well, maybe we could do a
Yep,
birthday party
he was very
That's
excited.
there.
It looks like he's ready to dance.
Yeah.
He's been doing Irish step dancing in the bathtub.
He's so cute.
He just does the little,
Yeah.
turns around and stomps his feet.
Yep.
Little Michael Flatley
Yep.
over there.
Oh, so cute.
So
cute.
how do you see, well, actually, I do have kind of an additional question for you. Do you think that over time, like maybe 5 or 10 years or whatever, do you see yourself outgrowing the space that you're in and maybe having to hire additional teachers
Right.
and have, 2 dance classes going
Right.
on at the same time?
I hope that's what happens. That's my goal for the future. I would love to have a 2-room studio,
Still in
Yeah.
Burlington.
Yes, still in Burlington, so I'm familiar
Is there
with everyone.
opportunity with the next doors, the neighbors, because they're kind of transitioning, or no?
There's new
Maybe?
businesses that just opened, so
Okay.
there's kind of like there's an opening way at the end, so I don't know if that would
Yeah.
work. But for the future, I definitely would consider that, and it's something I'd like to focus on, making
Okay.
that my goal. So.
Because you'll have all these really good dancers that are
Yeah.
just growing up, but then you'll still
Right.
have the new ones coming in. And,
Right.
like right now, looking at your schedule, you have, the different levels of Irish step dancing, 6 to 8-year-olds. Well, what happens
Mm-hmm. Right.
if you get a 7-year-old who's never put on a pair of dance shoes
Right.
before, but then you have the 7-year-old that's been doing since he or she's been 4.
Exactly.
So
Right.
you might have to have, the
Yes.
beginning
Different
of
levels.
Separated
Met.
a little bit. Yep. So.
or mixing them up and having the more experienced kids together, even though they might be in
Right.
different ages. or-
Yep. Even, growing up for me, my classes had a crazy age gap. I think there was a 10-year age gap, to be honest, in one
Wow.
of my classes.
Wow,
and
that's a big.
it was just mainly because some of us started dancing when we were 4, and some others started when they were 15. So it did make a difference, but
Yeah, I think I started ballet when I was like 2 or 3,
yeah.
and then I think I took my first tap dancing lesson at 14.
Okay.
So
Wow.
fortunately, they had enough interest of 13 to 18-year-olds
Right.
that we formed a class of kids who never put, teenagers who never wore a pair of tap shoes before. So
Right.
there you
Right.
go.
And I just look at this studio as a growing opportunity, and I hope to make it more successful each year and things like that. Growing up, I actually began dancing in the storage room of the Irish American Club in Woburn. So my
Wow.
teacher was a carpet floor. She would bring in the mirror and
That's all you
kind of
need.
lean it against the
Wow.
wall. So it was very makeshift.
Made
And
look everybody like taller.
yeah, so I'm okay with what I'm doing now. So it works out.
Yeah, you're far ahead of that. You're
Okay,
beautiful.
thank you. How do you plan on seeing your business expand, or what do you see in in your future?
Yeah, well, like I'm really looking to expand and looking for some good business partners to grow with right now. So any viewers out there that are listening, or anyone that, it's kind of word of mouth. So people that know people that are looking for something to do, whether it be Tupperware, or, whatever is a better fit. And, like I mentioned, they're expanding globally right now. So I feel like the possibilities are endless, and it's so exciting to me to kind of see where it could go.
Right.
I'm thinking down the road, like one of my goals would be to have a really, good team, everyone kind of working with one another and kind of teaching each other. And that's what I like about the business. I'm also helping and mentoring new people that come in and, kind of hoping to lead them down a successful path as well.
Now, if you were to look at your future right now,
Yep.
are you more likely to see yourself keeping these two businesses and growing them, or do you see yourself as returning to corporate America and just doing this on the side?
That's a great question, and I honestly, just having to come on your show and think about some of these aspects of these questions, I really haven't taken the time to look at it. Busy moms,
Well, I know.
changing diapers.
And I know I didn't have it on my cheat sheet.
No, but I
throwing a
actually got
curveball
to
at
think
you.
of it a little bit before, but, changing diapers and just being so busy, once they do grow up so quick and they're in school, and you want to make sure that you do have kind of a plan on what you're going to do. And
2 words, college tuition.
Exactly, and that's why I'm focusing on these businesses right now to kind of grow them. And I see the shop.com with the residual income coming in and growing that as something that I'm going to continue to do, as well as Tupperware. But I think it's just great to have many different aspects,
Keep all your options
Yeah,
open.
keep all your options open, and I'm not sure where this will lead me, whether I go back into the corporate. After the corporate world, I was in a startup company, and that was a lot of fun. You wear so many hats, and I was doing trade shows and traveling and doing the website, and we did a TV commercial, so many aspects of the business. So I feel like I have a lot of experience there. Now I'm kind of taking it into my own businesses. I mean, my ultimate goal, if I were to keep these two businesses and growing them, would be to make enough money someday to start a foundation and to be able to give back charitably to people in less of need, that more of need, and to help out and maybe mentor some young women, that would need some help starting their own businesses, and just that's something I have a lifelong dream of doing something like that. So
Cool.
hopefully
The Kristin Brady Scholarship Fund.
yeah, something. Hopefully there's something like that down the road.
Excellent. Well, we are just about at time. We got about a minute left.
Oh wow.
That went by
So
quick.
I need to kind of wrap things up. But first of all, I want to thank you guys very much for coming on the show and sharing your
you.
stories. I got to learn a lot tonight, so I'm very excited. So hopefully, hey, who knows, in another year's time, we can have both of you guys back and see how
Thank you
the
so much.
vision
And I
has
do have
expanded.
something for you, Linda. I couldn't come because I know you're an avid Tupperware lover, so here's a little something for you.
Thank you. Should I open it now?
Sure. It's the quick shake container. So 65 years, this has been one of the most popular
Oh,
products.
nice.
Fun.
So I wanted to give you that as a thank you.
This is what I was looking for Christmas.
Well, there you
for
go.
my brother, so.
There's your
This is excellent.
your late Christmas gift.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having
So-
us on. You're doing excellent.
Yes,
Your
thank
talk
you.
show.
Well, I do want to say goodnight to everyone, and thank you for watching, and thank you to April for calling in. And I want to let you know that my next program, we will be talking about real estate, and just basically, general interest, general concepts, something to talk about of real estate. So why don't you tune in? And again, feel free to email me at talk@bcattv.org. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful evening. Good night.